go, just getting this set up, sharing the stream in a couple places. Who we got joining back in here? I can't see the chat yet. Just getting things set up. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? I'm just sharing this a couple times, and then I'll get to walking through the steps you gotta take to unlock the garage here in AfterTheStorm 2. This is a mod map based in Maine. Makes me a happy kid, not gonna lie. Alright, let's get this moving here. So, you start out with this base Chevy CK 1500. You're over here in basically the corner of the map, and as you can see, there are a ton of watchtowers compared to most maps, but they do reveal less of the map here. I'll just go over and get this first watchtower as an example to show you, but once we start going, we're going to be going around this way. So, you start out with this base Chevy CK. There are objectives everywhere. I'll show you actually, it's kind of silly. The text I think is kind of based for PC because you can't even read the small ass text in there, even if you squint on it. Like, I got kind of crappy eyes, but even that is just too small to even be read. Oh, hey, Ian. Thanks for joining in, bud. Good to see you in the stream here. Just checking out AfterTheStorm. New mod map that went live on consoles yesterday. It's kind of weird. They dropped console mods, some new console mods at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is like the latest I've seen them drop new mods. Generally, it's been in the morning between like 6 a.m. to like 11 a.m. But for some reason, they released them at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, which is kind of silly. But hey, doesn't matter. We got new mods, and we got awesome ones like this. Yeah, so you can see it only reveals a small area compared to other maps. They do nice sweeping pans with the watchtowers when you get them in this one, which is nice. I like that. It's kind of a fast, jarring, you know, sweep of the camera, but it's still a little bit more than we get at the base game, where they just do a sweep turning view, which is nice and all, but something moving with actual like more animation is kind of cool. This passage is blocked. There are a lot of blocked passages like this and broken bridges that you have to build and complete. But that's about as far as you can go this way, and then you have to double back to the beginning. When I was first doing this last night, I really was just exploring and not really sure where to go, and you activate the first contracts that you have to activate to guide you to the garage, and it just shows you a location at the top of the hill over here. I'm just going to position myself back at the beginning so that anyone joining in will have the experience of seeing what I'm doing from the very beginning. And that first little box task that was located right here was actually just to go get that watchtower, which was kind of cool. So easy little task to get going. You start out in, I can see the player profile here, you only have $5,000 compared to other mod maps where you get unlimited money, basically. You start out with 5,000 in this, and then you have to build your way up naturally. There are a bunch of contracts. It looks like more than it actually is because a lot of these only have a couple of contracts within them. But it looks like they used most of the company overarching companies that are in each region. The main one here that you want to go to first is under Husky Forwarding. Unlock the city, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. By the end of part 3 is when you'll unlock the garage. But if you just activate this first contract, you can see the first location is all the way up here. And so basically you just want to follow the road, come across this bridge, and then you're going to come over this way up towards this watchtower. But this is right at the starting location. If for some reason you are to roll where you are in a base Chevy CK, so like if you put yourself in a mud pit or something, screw yourself over, get stuck, you can still recover, and it just puts you right back here at the very beginning. But I'll start going here since I have the contract active, and I'll go towards the first of the 3 contracts you'll have to complete to unlock the garage here on AfterTheStorm mod map for consoles. I am playing on my PlayStation 4. This is not PC gameplay. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell considering it's a Chevy CK and not like a mod vehicle. I guess that could make it a little confusing, but so the very first time I was coming through here, I was just like, oh, there's nothing that you have to worry about. You can just drive right through here, and I'm not going to do it right now, but as you can see from that car being in there, that hole is super deep. Very first time I played this map, I sunk my Chevy CK here right in that water trying to cross it, and that's going to be a theme that you can kind of see as we progress through this map, is that as you go through, the obvious path isn't necessarily the best way to take. There are detours similar to this that I'm going through right now, where you just have to take the long way around or the sketchy way around. I found it easiest just to go over these rocks over here, since this base Chevy CK doesn't really do well in the mud. It's just a little bit quicker. But you just come around this mud here, get around that detour, and then you're good to go. I originally just thought that you would be able to drive straight to the destination marker, which really doesn't work out. There are kind of outlined paths for you to take on this map, and it's best to take them. They might not be as obvious at first, but once you notice them, it makes sense. There are a lot of bridges like this one I just drove up to that you have to build eventually. Once you do unlock the garage, you can use any vehicle you want to get the jobs done. This map overall looks like it's going to be very fun and actually be kind of time consuming, which is nice. It's not like the Sling Valley mod map that I just played last about 20 minutes ago and was streaming, where it's a little bit more basic. But you aren't able to go across that bridge that I was just sitting at, so you have to come around here. When I first played through last night, I was looking at the map here, and I was like, well, you come down this road, and then the objective's right here, so the straightest path should make the most sense, going right up here. But you can kind of see above my vehicle here, it is very steep and very not friendly to a base Chevy CK. So I'm not gonna put you guys through seeing me go through there, but if you just come across here, you then can go right across the river on this water crossing. Now I'm gonna do my best through this stream to not roll my Chevy CK and have to recover. That'd be nice if I can get through it without having to do that, but it might happen because trying to stream while looking at comments and stuff, I might end up making a mistake here and there, but hey, it's SnowRunner. Rolling comes with the territory. Speaking of the comments in the stream, thank you for joining in, Brando Weber. Awesome, you're from Maine as well. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited that someone made a map for Maine. I know a little bit of what people in Michigan and Wisconsin kind of get to say, or they get excited about playing a map in Michigan or Wisconsin. Thank you for joining in the stream, Sean Martin. Yeah, it gets very deep through there. It's insane, and especially with a base Chevy CK here. Like, you can see these rivers are no joke. Like, the stream is strong. Granted, you can cross it in these shallower areas, but in the deeper parts, it really wants to take the truck, and I mean, it'll sink it quick, or it'll just wash you out and flip you over. Like this immediately. What is actually an upgrade? It's actually the symbol that they use for tasks, which is kind of weird. But you just have to overlook that type of stuff. So you just do these couple river crossings, and then climb up the waterfall here. And realistically, this isn't something that looks like the Chevy CK should be able to do, but with a little creative winching, you can get there. Sorry again if the stream was cutting out there or lagging or anything like that. I just saw it kind of spin on my laptop next to me here. We'll get this watchtower. There's awesome elevation changes on this map. I love it. I can't wait to really dive into it with fully modded out vehicles and upgraded vehicles and actually have fun on it. But it is a completely different type of fun when you're running through this map with a base Chevy CK here. But you got to be careful. It look like this area looks like you can just run through it quick, but you drive too fast into stuff like this and it's going to eat your vehicle up. It's almost nerve-wracking how far you have to go and how long it takes to unlock the garage, because not having the autonomous winch and not having a vehicle that is capable actually is kind of nerve-wracking, because like if you roll it, you're screwed and you have to recover. Like, you don't have any option to save yourself. As you're going along, you will unlock other vehicles that you find. Like at the end of this first contract here, you find a Chevy, or not Chevy, a GMC. I'm about to drive up to it, a GMC MH9000 or 9500, whatever the name is. But also, I believe once you complete the contract here, it updates the recovery location. But right here is the GMC MH9500. Got that unlocked, so that's an extra option now in case I do roll this. But now where I completed that first contract, we go back under here to part 2 of Unlock the City, accept that contract, and you can see the next location is just right down here. So we can go up and grab this watchtower, and we'll go from there. I'm just going to stay in the Chevy CK here. Stopped in the deep mud. It sunk right down in while I was in the map menu. But now we're just going to go through this way. I'm pretty sure you can get through that way with no problem. There is a downed like radio tower or something like that, but this direction through here brings you right around everything. Seems like most areas on this map have a section that is a little bit more tricky and technical, but also has areas that you can just navigate around. I have not gotten to the garage yet, Redneck, no. I'm on my way there. I just completed the first of 3 contracts, and at the end of the 3rd contract, you're right at the garage. So the map begins right over here. I traversed over this bridge, around this road, came across this water crossing, all the way up through here. You can't go through this roadblock, you go around, follow the dirt road, up around, and then down this road to where I'm located now. The garage itself is like located right over here in the black. But what we're gonna have to do is follow this road. It then comes down, wraps around, and then there's a pretty crazy water crossing that'll bring you over to the end of contract 2 over here. At the end of contract 2, there is a Hummer H2, and that is a much more capable off-road vehicle. Even though it is also a base version of the Hummer H2, it's actually way better than the Chevy CK here. Like, this Chevy CK, it's so low, gets hung up on these rocks. I mean, it'll get the job done to a point, but then upgrading to a better vehicle is just so satisfying. There's actually a fairly technical rock section that you have to get over right before you get to the garage after completing the 2nd contract. When you're on the 3rd one there, it actually has a pretty technical section for you to get through, and then you will unlock the garage when you complete that 3rd contract. When I was doing this last night, testing it out for the first time, I actually used the GMC MH9500 to get through these crazy mud pits, and it really just did not want to crawl through anything, because it's not like a fully upgraded one with the all-wheel drive and diff lock and everything. It has no all-wheel drive, no diff lock, and it just spins those back tires. Hey Gary Morgan, thanks for joining in the stream. Yes, this map is available on Xbox. It is a console mod. I am playing on my PS4 here, but it is available on both Xbox and PS4. The map is named AfterTheStorm 2. It is a map apparently from the mod creator's description based in Maine, which makes me real happy because I am a Maine guy. I grew up here in Maine, still live in Maine. But just going to recap on where we're going. We're going over here for the first part of the 2nd contract. When I was driving by myself, I ended up going right here to try and get this watchtower, but it is actually not gettable from this location. This road comes down across, and there's a huge water, like river, that goes in between here and that watchtower, so it's not as easy to get as it might seem by just looking at the map here. But we're going to be going across here and then to this checkpoint. I apologize if this is a little bit jumbled and not exactly the cleanest and best walkthrough. It's my first time attempting something like this and just kind of having fun. But I appreciate anyone and everyone that is joining in. I appreciate you guys checking out my stream. Just having some fun with MudRunner. When I first drove up to this, I really just looked at it. I'm like, well, Chevy CK isn't going to be able to drive through here, but it actually can. It's a sketchy little river water crossing, but it'll get there. And as I say that, I get it stuck immediately. Oh, that sucks. Come on. Yeah, if I can at least get to the 2nd checkpoint here, it'll be nice. In doing this, it actually gave me a little bit more appreciation for the Chevy CK, just because I really haven't driven it at all since, you know, really getting into SnowRunner and unlocking the first few vehicles. Like, I used this at the beginning of the game, but then never really looked back Like, even when it's fully leveled up, it's an underwhelming and kind of just lackluster vehicle. But you can see up over here, like, there's so many washed out, like, flooded areas that you need a real capable vehicle to get through. I'll go up to this. It shows it as an upgrade icon, but for some reason on this map, the upgrade icon is used for the tasks, and I haven't really done many of them to see if you unlock upgrades eventually when you complete them, but it seems to me they just use the upgrade icon for task locations, which is just kind of weird. But we're gonna bypass this flooded area and then drive over here to this next marker. This is a sketchy little spot. I came through with the GMC last night, and it couldn't even make it through this and had to do some real creative winching to get past this rock, because there's just no real easy way in anything larger than the Chevy CK here to get through. But I just updated the next marker, and we're going to be going under the bridge and then up over here. And once we get to this spot, it's going to unlock the Hummer H2, and we'll be able to leave this Chevy CK behind. You can see on-ramps right here. There's actually like a small like highway system. Like, it's not very extensive and there's a few roadblocks on it, but it's just a fun feature that I really enjoyed. It's worth noting too, up until now, if I had rolled my vehicle, I would have been kind of screwed, but completing this second contract, like I just did, it moves the recovery location to right here where this Hummer H2 is located. So I just discovered that, and I can jump into this Hummer H2, and it is a much more capable off-road vehicle compared to that Chevy. And we'll move on to the third location, or the third contract, I should say. Again, it's located under Husky Forwarding. Accept that. And that is the garage checkpoint. So once we get here, we'll unlock the garage. It looks like, to me, when I first looked at it, I was just thinking, oh, the easiest way shouldn't be the right way, so I was thinking these roads wouldn't be accessible, but you just come up the on-ramp here and then loop around and come over. But the first time I tried it, I wanted to go across this river, which was a bad idea because you can see the sticks right here under my icon. It is fully blocked and not really passable. So you have to navigate yourself around, come up the bridge, and then over to this watchtower, and then you climb over these rocks, and once you get to the other side, the garage is basically right there. And I didn't even, stupid me, look at the description of the contract, but I'll put it in the black here so it's legible. If you see in the top right corner, if you can read that, it explains exactly where to go and how to get there, and the fact that you should use the Hummer that I just discovered to make this trip. But I'll go ahead and get that started. So like I said, yeah, we're gonna go back under the bridge. Or can I just go up here? Actually, I think I can just go right up here and then cut across. Still just trying to remember it as I go. Oh, yeah, there's a watchtower here anyway, so that was good. Need to get that. Don't you guys hate when you change the time and you want it to be sunny? Oh, shit. You want it to be sunny out, so you change it to afternoon, and then it's raining? Don't you just hate that? Trying to make it so it's bright and colorful. Something fun and good for you guys to watch if I'm going to be streaming, and then change the time from dark to then dark and raining. But there's just something about this little highway system that makes me happy. But right here is where you enter and then climb the rocks here. I'm sure you could probably do it with the Chevy CK, but doing it with the Hummer H2 is definitely the right choice. Yeah, it was lagging for a minute there when I was first starting out the stream, so I think it messed up the sync of the audio, which is kind of weird, but oh well, we'll push through. I apologize for any technical difficulties. Hey Bobby, thanks for joining in the stream, man. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, so get through that here. And now we're gonna just come down this other side. It's a little bit of a sketchy waterfall that you have to climb down, but it's fun. Try and not roll. If I roll it at this point, it's going to be so disappointing, because I am so close to unlocking the garage now. Oh shit! Oh shit! Almost. Little safety net with the winch there. All right, there we go. Sweet. All right, and right around the corner here, there is there's a fleet star right here that you can use. That's an unlocked vehicle now. But boom, there's the garage. There we go. Garage unlocked. Yeah, that waterfall will get you. It's not easy, especially in these base vehicles. But yeah, so it's not too bad. Now, granted, I've done it before. It's a trial and error process when you don't know, but I'll just recap it. So, you start out here. When you first load the game, follow the road, come around, take this dirt road, cross this river, come all the way across, follow this dirt road, come up around, all the way around this way. Just keep following these dirt roads, and then you do this crazy water crossing where the downed bridge is. You come up all the way to this corner, get the Hummer H2, and then it's just a short drive up this little highway section, up over the rocks, down the waterfall, and then the garage is located right here. Pretty sweet. And now that I have the garage, I can recover. And as I said, you start out with almost no money like a traditional playthrough, but having the DLC vehicles, they're in your garage, so then I just sell everything. And then bam, have close to $500,000 to play with. Hop to the truck store, purchase a few mods. Oh, I want the last Raider there. That thing's one of my favorites. I'll mod this out real quick. Hopefully I can get through the tire section pretty quick so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me scroll through 500,000 tires. I won't modify multiple vehicles, I'll just get this one done so I have something that is more capable to crawl around in. But yeah, even though I was taking my time and I kind of was walking through it slower than I would if I was just not streaming. It took me about a half hour to unlock the garage, which isn't too bad when you count. When you really think about it for a second. I like these ones. Yeah, these fucking ZW1 tires. I like them. No snorkel because it is the base game, which is kind of brutal, but we can live without that. Alright. Anyone else use the last raider? Alright, thanks for stopping by, Gary. Good to see you. Take care. Hopefully you have a good night, man. Alright, so what to do now? I'll just probably grab some watchtowers and stuff. I'll go exploring, show you guys some of the other parts of the map. Yeah, I'm gonna go up here, grab this watchtower, and then we'll go from there. Have some fun. This last raider is an awesome scout. It is a little bit arcade-like, where the center of mass is all in the lower part of the vehicle, like making it kind of hard to even roll over. Like it just always lands back on its wheels. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, have a good night at work, Gary. Yeah, it's not super OP in any way, where it doesn't have like, it's not uncontrollably fast. It's not, I don't know. It's nice and well balanced, other than the fact it is almost too stable, which is kind of weird to say, but it's not really a bad thing. It's just kind of a weird thing about the vehicle. And it wouldn't be a map based in Maine if it didn't have a lighthouse. I love that. But these little, like, this highway section with the areas that you can traverse under it, I don't know, something that we don't have in the base game, which... Oh, the camera fucks up when you're going through there, though. Jesus. I like that they put the tags from the community cover or the community treasure hunt. They put those inside here, which is kind of funny. Well, that was a clusterfuck. Sorry you guys had to sit through that. But yeah, now we'll just scout around, test out some of the crazy sections on this map. Like, everything's just so fun to drive through. The colors are vibrant, all the areas are technical and tough. The water section is going to be interesting, considering the fact I don't have a snorkel, but still be fun nonetheless. Oh, it's your go-to scout, huh, Ian? That's awesome. I mean, it is just so stable. The only kind of areas it struggles in is in like the deep mud and stuff, and I mean that kind of makes sense. I like that it isn't completely overpowered to the point where it just ignores deep mud and things like that, because that just takes some of the fun out of the game. But this thing crawls, like it rock crawls so well. It's so fun to drive over rocks and technical terrain. Oh yeah, you're kind of required, aren't you, Ian? I mean, you gotta represent. It's just like me being in love with this map kind of by default. The fact that the mod creator just put those words in there, you know, Maine, like looking at the map here and just seeing Maine, USA in the top of it, just, it tickles that nerd part of my heart where I'm like, I love this. I love this by default. Like, I can't not like it. Like, I have to love this map. It says Maine on it. I know it might be silly to some people, but it makes me so happy in my nerd heart. This down here is the fourth part of the first 4 contracts, and it just comes over here and clears the roadblock that I was mentioning earlier in the video. And all you have to do is drive up to this and poof, those logs and branches are out of the way, and this path is actually accessible now. For some reason I thought it was going to take a little longer to unlock the garage there. Let's see if I can get through here. Granted, I don't have a snorkel, but I should be able to get through here, right? Got debris floating in the water and shit. Just deep enough to not be affecting my engine yet. I don't think this is a drivable. Yeah, no, that's a damaged GMC. It's part of a contract, I believe. Yeah, see, again, I change it to the afternoon thinking it'll be daylight, and it just makes it rain. I love this water crossing. Just like a lot of things on this map, it just feels unique, something different. And we've played through all the base game maps and even the DLC maps so many times, whether it's in solo or in co-op, that's what I love about mod maps. It just makes the game feel fresh and unique and new. Like, that's what's gonna extend the life of this game far beyond when the developers finish releasing all their DLC. Is mods and mod maps in particular just make the game infinitely replayable compared to just doing the same map over and over and over. Like, even though you can do it with your friends over and over, it doesn't necessarily make it a new experience. It can kind of get a little boring and stale. I'm gonna go down here, like, show you what I meant earlier when I said it looks like going this way you should just be able to get this watchtower. It's not quite that simple. You got this kind of crazy washout that you have to avoid here. Yeah, Bobby, see? You get it, man. You're on the same mental wavelength. See, the river here is just a huge river that is definitely not something you can just drive through. And, you can see the blue square over on the other side of the river there. That's where the watchtower is located, so you have to access it from the other side. I assume once you get that roadblock cleared, it'll be easier to then come over and then drop down through there. But like everywhere on this map has such steep angles that make it so technical and tough to navigate. I like these bridges too, where they're long and have these steep on-ramps and off-ramps. Just something about it's fun. Ew. Even these little ditches on the side of the road are aggressive as hell. Like, I am kind of in a pickle, and I just drove one fucking second off the road. Oh, God. They make you pay for every mistake on this map. I did this last night when I was just in the Chevy CK without the autonomous winch, and it was rough, let me tell you. Because you are not climbing out of that the way I just did with the last Raider fully upgraded. You're not doing that with the base Chevy CK. I think there's a watchtower up past this cornfield. Yeah, it's right over here. Oh yeah, it's right under that tree. Hey Bradley, thanks for joining the stream. Are you saying you're not sure where I am as in currently, or are you talking in regards to unlocking the garage? Because I can do a quick little recap on the map on the path I took to unlock the garage. I already unlocked it, so now I'm just running through, having fun. I love this cornfield where you can leave a path that you drive through. Oh, did you just send me a friend invite or on PlayStation here? I think it's someone that just sent me something. I saw a notification pop up. But I'm just doing this in solo right now, so I have the ability to change time and keep the daylight while streaming, because just playing this game at night for like 15 minutes straight gets a little boring and annoying. That bridge is blocked too. But the garage is right on the other side of this bridge. So you can see this is one corner of the map here. The other corner. It's not the largest map, but it's so much fun. I'm gonna come down here. Looks like to this road. Come up through here and get this watchtower. I tried to get this watchtower last night from the other side and it just really did not work. Let's get some fuel while we're skidding past. That is one kind of knock. Like, granted, mud tires, they make them have the low rating on pavement, but it's almost comical how they make it like skate around like it's on ice, where like I know in real life mud tires don't have the best grip on the road, but I don't know, it seems a little bit over exaggerated just for what they like to call game balance. If you're gonna be able to have tires that work really good in the mud, you're gonna have no traction on pavement, which is just making the game hard for the sake of making the game hard. Where, like I said, I recognize that real, like, legit mud tires aren't gonna have as good a grip on pavement, but it doesn't necessarily make the vehicle dance around like you're driving on ice. Unless I am completely wrong about that and someone would like to educate me, but that's just my 2 cents about that. Oof, good God. The timing on that watchtower is aggressive. Look at this. Just... Okay, Bobby. Alright, yeah. Yeah, so you don't have any issue on pavement even in the rain, but you wish they'd make them a little bit better in the game. Yeah, so it really is. It's the developers do stuff like that, like, for example, limiting the fuel tank on certain vehicles, like, say, the Con Marshall, or like some of the other trucks, where they just make the game hard for the sake of making it hard and restrict certain features, like having mud tires that have no traction on pavement but really good traction in the mud. Like, they just restrict stuff for the sake of quote-unquote game balance, which is good but also kind of sucks at the same time. Like, I get where they're coming from, but they're a little bit too aggressive with some of that stuff. Like, I love it. I'm still gonna play the games, and it's not something that's gonna make me stop playing the games, but I can see how it could take some of the fun out of it for some people. Oh, that is a low bridge. I don't think I'm getting under that. Looks like we're going around. I think I saw a path that went around the other way. I'm just so happy we have a game like this, even if I'm nitpicking like I just was about certain features. Like, the fact we have a massive open world, free roaming game like this is just amazing. Like, we've had games that kind of scratch the surface of what this game does in the past, and with other games on like old school, like Test Drive Off-Road, or Test Drive Off-Road Wide Open, or other games, or 4x4 Evo and stuff like that. Or I don't know if anyone played Fuel. Fuel is kind of a hidden gem of an open world game that I believe had the Guinness Book World Record for the largest game map when it came out. But if you haven't played Fuel on like the original Xbox and PlayStation 3, holy shit, that game was awesome. It was almost a predecessor in some way to these games. I believe, if I remember correctly, the map was so large that it legitimately took like 2 hours to drive across from one corner to another, or like an hour and a half to drive from one corner to another, and there were achievements for doing it. There was one from going from like the top left to the bottom right corner, and then one going from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. And to do each of them, it would take like an hour and a half or 2 hours each just to get that achievement. It's insane. And the graphics were terrible. Like, the vehicles were okay, but the world around you was awful and had a worse draw distance than this, where you would drive around and have like a 30-foot circle around your car. Then everything else would look like the shitty graphics that you get in this game when the maps are loading. Yeah, 4x4 Evo was awesome, Bobby. I don't know, where am I going here? Ow, kitty cat, you got bony paws. Alright, looks like I found the path to get over and get the watchtower I was talking about, because if I keep going straight, I'm at that roadblock that I can't get past, and I'm not able to do anything with going forward. But if I go down here and then drop down right here, I'll be able to get this watchtower. And looks like this is a repair and service station right behind me. Yeah, so if I don't need to necessarily do it right now, but if I wanted to repair my vehicle, that's where I would go. I guess I just navigate through the woods here. Looks like there's kind of a trail that comes down, yeah, through here. I put my marker too high up. And then drop down through here. Can't help but just go full speed through everything. That's a bad habit of mine. I just go full clip through everything. My buddies in co-op always give me shit because I'm always rolling everywhere I go. But in co-op, you can do that because you have friends that'll tip you back over once you flip over like a dummy. Especially when you guys are out in only scout vehicles. Ooh, misjudged the turn there. I'm gonna climb this after though. I'm gonna go down here, get this watchtower, and then I'm gonna climb back up here and go up that trail, see where that goes. Oh no. I didn't even take a second to even look to see where I was going. I just drove down. That was a dumb move. But hey, it worked out. Alright, finally got that watchtower. Oh boy. Yeah, redneck, that's all I do, man. Clarkson gear all the time. What do? You gotta give it more power! Let's see what it's like to climb back up this. Definitely not gonna go up the way I came down. I could see the way I should have come down now. Looks like it doubles back over this way. so happy we actually got this mod on consoles. I know there's always so much debate and controversy over the restrictions and the loops and hurdles that all the mod creators and the developers have to go through just to get mods on consoles, as far as brand restrictions and all that stuff. Like, after hearing about it for so long and hearing about how it's going to be so restrictive that we wouldn't get brands like Land Rover or Toyota or anything, and now that we know that as long as the mod creators make a few tweaks to make it look not like a real life replica and just make it look as close as possible like this, like, we can actually have cool mods like this and the IX5 and the Tightness Maximus and stuff like that on consoles, where after all the lead up and all the warnings and all the naysaying from the developers saying that we're not going to be able to do stuff like that, and then boom, we have stuff. We actually got it. Like, we aren't going to be as limited as it seemed like it was going to be, which is very, very awesome, and I'm really happy for the entire community that we are able to play around with these kind of cool mods. Even though they aren't as good as some of them that they have on PC, it's still pretty damn awesome. Oh, that looks fun. Alright, take care, Bobby. Thanks for hanging out, man. Yeah, we can jump online sometime. I got this game on Xbox too, so I can jump on there anytime. I just primarily play on the PS4 because, oh my god, that is deep. I just play on my PS4 primarily because I just have everything set up so much easier on my PS4 as far as recording footage and stuff like that. I'm sure I can stream also on my Xbox. I just haven't looked into setting that up. I've only done it on my PS4 here. But as far as like recording video, if any of you are nerds and would like to make content yourself too, and have both consoles or considering doing it, the one upside I've found for the PlayStation 4 compared to the Xbox is the PS4, I can record video by just hitting the share button, and I have it set up where it'll record up to the last 15 minutes of gameplay, and that's how I get a lot of my footage that I end up posting on my Facebook page, Maine MudRunner. And the Xbox, it can do it too, but it's limited. Oh, nice invisible wall. The Xbox is limited to that's so stupid that that's an invisible wall. You should be able to drive through that hole. The Xbox is limited to either 2 minutes or 5 minutes, compared to the PlayStation 4 being able to record up to the last 15 minutes. The Xbox, if you have it, the graphics settings all the way up, it'll only record 2 minutes, but if you bump it down to like 720p, it'll record up to the last 5 minutes. But as we know with SnowRunner here, sometimes to do something, it takes a little while. Like, so having the ability to just hit the button and then it saves the last 15 minutes of gameplay is so useful on the PlayStation, where I can then, if I do something cool or want to record like delivering some cargo from point A to point B, I can load it up so it'll record that last 15 minutes and then just go through and edit the clip to whatever I need to edit as far as time-wise within that 15 minutes. So that's why, in a long, drawn-out diatribe / rant, is why I prefer Xbox or PlayStation over Xbox. See, like, I didn't even do anything. The winch was pulling in the other direction, and then this thing just rolled itself back over onto its wheels. That's crazy. Yeah, so now driving around with like a fully upgraded vehicle, The map is a little smaller than it felt last night when I played it, but I mean, it's not small by any means. It's just not one of the bigger maps out there. But it is so well made. The detail in it, I love. And it has just awesome variety. Oh, how my vehicle's in the water here. If any of you played MudRunner, you'd remember that when your vehicle was in the water like this, and you're running the engine in MudRunner,